Video number 3 of 2026, guys. I always tend to do all my videos on the same day that I get a tiny bit of time. I'm getting a tiny bit of time today. We're on the 2nd of January. I have recorded my top 10 movies of the year, my top 10 horrors of the year, and now I'm going to do what I watched in December. In December, I watched probably about the same amount of movies you would be used to me watching normally, but in the latter half of 2025, the amount of movies I watched just diminished dramatically due to just all kinds of shit that most of you know about. So 2025 was a shit year, folks. Was a bad year for me. I didn't watch as many movies as was normal for me. I just wasn't in the mood, you know. But in December, obviously with Christmas, with the holidays, you do watch a lot more because TV's crap, what can I say? So let's get into, I will try not to keep you too long, folks, but this is what I watched in December. So the first one here is on the 3rd, My Daughter is a Zombie. This is, I'm going to say Korean. Yes, I think that's Korean. Is it? I'll flip. Let's hope it is. There'll be somebody on calling me a racist if it isn't. My Daughter is a Zombie is a comedy horror. This zombie virus is going around. This guy's daughter not catches it. She's bitten. She becomes a zombie, and he is trying to hide this from everyone else. It's an easy to watch little movie. It's nothing special. There are aspects of it that are fun. Is it amazing? No, I gave it a 2.5 out of 5. That was maybe a bit cruel. I did think parts of it were a little bit naff. That's why it doesn't have a massive score. On the 5th, The Roses. Right, this would have scored much higher if it hadn't have went where it went near the end. Now, this has got the incredible Olivia Colman, who can do no wrong in my opinion, and Benedict Cumberbatch is brilliant in this as well. They play a very successful couple. Is he an architect? He builds houses. I think he's an architect. She was a very successful chef. She kind of has put her career on the back burner because his career is really busy. But a bit of a disaster happens in his career. She steps forward in hers. Her career takes off. She gets very successful. And resentment starts building in this marriage. This is a kind of dark black comedy. And from someone that's been married been with her partner for 20 years and been married for most of that, this is so funny. This is so relatable. And no, oh my god, I have not got to the stages that these guys do in this, but just that building sort of like the little digs at each other in a really funny way made me laugh my arse off, because you can't help but put yourself in the position of her, and I'm sure a man can't help but put himself in the position of Benedict Cumberbatch's character. So life seems easy for picture perfect couple Ivy and Theo, successful careers, loving marriage, great kids, but beneath the facade of their supposed ideal life, a storm is brewing. As Theo's career nosedives, Ivy's own ambitions take off, a tinderbox of fierce competition and hidden resentment ignites. This movie is so good until about, I'll not even say the last quarter, because it's not as much as the last quarter, the last sixth, let's say. This just gets to the point of ridiculousness. I loved it up until they start going overboard with their hatred for each other. Where it ends up is just fucking silly. But until that point, I was loving it. I marked it down to a 3. I probably would have given it a 3.5 had we not gone where we went at the end. But for the performances in this, you gotta give this a go. It's my type of humour. It's proper dark humour, but I loved it. So that's The Roses. Responsible Child. This is a drama on ITV in the UK, I believe. I'm trying to remember. Ray, a 12-year-old boy, must confront the British legal system when he is accused of murder. Right, so this is based on a true story. This is not as good as Adolescence. Very similar premise. 12-year-old accused of murder. He has done the murder. That's not shied away from. You know, we know that's what's happened at the start, but there are extenuating circumstances. You know what I mean? There are reasons why you back this kid and what he's done. The acting performances in this are brilliant, are fantastic. I still don't think it's as good as Adolescence, but it is still excellent. It's still very good, and it's still well worth a watch. 3 out of 5. Come on. Oh, Jesus Christ. My Secret Santa. Right, I try to watch as many Christmas films as I can in December. This one, I think, from Netflix. It's somewhere for free. This woman disguises herself as Santa Claus to get a job in this company because it gets her daughter free snowboarding tuition, skiing tuition, some type of bloody skiing about the place tuition. And she is Santa Claus. Nobody realises this really pretty woman is Santa Claus. She falls for the son of the guy that owns the place that she's working. It's a supposed romance. The amount of times my toes curled underneath my body watching this. It's awful. It's fucking awful. It's really bad. I didn't buy the mother-daughter relationship. He was super cringy to me. I don't know why she was attracted to him. She was just weird. I don't know why he was attracted to her. No. Maybe it's... I don't like rom-coms. Pip, why did you watch it, Lisa? I don't know. It was about Christmas. There was others, Sometimes I watch a movie. An example is one called That Christmas. It's got Emilia Clarke in it. I think that's her name. She played Daenerys in Game of Thrones. And it's a lot of emphasis on the band Wham in it. That's on Netflix as well. That's a rom-com. I loved it. I thought it was brilliant. Really enjoyed it. So occasionally, there was one with Alicia Silverstone that I watched, which wasn't fantastic, but it was bearable. This, don't watch it. It's fucking awful. On the 10th, Eden. I really, really enjoyed this. I gave this a 3.5. So, this is about a group of people that go to this really shit island, to be honest with you, wanting to start again. A group of disillusioned outsiders abandon modern society in search of a new beginning. Settling on a remote, uninhabited island, their utopian dream quickly unravels as they discover that the greatest threat isn't the brutal climate or deadly wildlife, but each other. It's not as like pitting people against each other as much as it seems. We don't have Lord of the Flies here, folks. This is about a group of people trying to start again. It's really hard. It's a really barren, rocky, horrible landscape. They're trying to make a go of it. It's not working, but they're so pig-headed. They feel like they have to make out that it's fantastic. More people are hearing about it. They're coming. Everybody's having a shit show. But the acting's brilliant in this. It's a really interesting premise. Jude Law, Ana de Armas, Daniel Brühl, Sydney Sweeney, all the men will want to watch it now, and Vanessa Kirkby, who has come to be an actress I really enjoy. No matter what she plays, I really enjoy her as an actress. Vanessa Kirby? Kirby. Really like her. But yeah, it's directed by Ron Howard. I really enjoyed it. So that's Eden. On the 11th, The Carpenter's Son. I will watch anything this man is in, Nicolas Cage, even if it's bad. This isn't particularly good, folks. This is... if I tell you who he's playing, you'll be like, you fucking what? Right, he's not playing Jesus. He's playing Joseph. This is a horror retelling of Mary, Joseph and Jesus, basically. But instead of Jesus being like a being from heaven that can perform miracles, it's almost told like he's got superpowers, like he's a supervillain or some shit. A remote village in Roman-era Egypt explodes into spiritual warfare when a carpenter, Nicolas Cage, his wife, who FKA Twigs, way too young to be playing Nicolas Cage's wife, pet peeve of mine, and their child are targeted by supernatural forces. There's bits of it that's a bit interesting. I will watch Nicolas Cage paint a wall and watch the paint dry. I love him. Is he bad in this? No. Is the story bad? Yes. Not particularly good. 2.5. I wouldn't have scored it as high if Nicolas Cage wasn't in it. I'm just telling you that I am biased when it comes to Nicolas Cage. I watch the remake of The Wicker Man just to laugh at it. It's awful. It's abysmal, but it's funny. Silent Night, Deadly Night. This will not be popular. Everybody and their dog loved this. I'm not understanding why everybody really loved this film. I don't get it. So much so, I've been and said to Elliot from IMO Reviews, please watch this shit. Someone has to review this and not like it, because I haven't seen it happen yet. Me and my husband went to see this in the cinema, and we both walked out. That was a shower of shit. But no one else thinks the same. I gave it a 2.5. This is a remake. I think we've had multiple remakes of this. I have seen the original. I thought the original was fine. There's just too many things happen that it's like there's a big bloodbath happens in a specific setting. I'm not going to tell you where and why because you might not have seen it. God love you. You're blessed. So this big bloodbath happens in this little tiny village. All these people are killed. There's no fucking mention of it ever again. It doesn't come up. People are walking about having a chat the next day. It's all Christmassy. People are queued up at the local little tiny store that's the only place you can buy Christmas shit. Nobody mentions it. What was happening in that room prior to the bloodbath's mentionable enough. That's not mentioned. This little tiny shop with one woman that works in it has to hire this one guy, even though there's nobody in the shop, nothing happens, and all he does is carry boxes of baubles about for the whole fucking runtime of the movie. Then they piss off at one stage to a skating rink, and her dad, who owns the place, he comes in and works in it while his daughter buggers off with this bloke that she's hired that she couldn't need for any reason. It was terrible. It wasn't terrible, I give it 2.5. My husband thought it was awful. I thought it was just... For a slasher, it was average. I am not a massive slasher fan, and this is why. Because we lose storyline, we lose... You can do a bloody good slasher and still have, like, a believable storyline. It's not difficult. Oh, Jesus, I'm not even going to start. But that's not what the movie was about, Lisa. It's just a slasher. That's my opinion. That's just what I felt, because I'm not a massive slasher fan, and I think this is why. And there are so many examples. Oh no, actually, let me just say this. Final Destination. Those movies' special effects are brilliant. The kills are inventive. You watch them and you're like, oh, and you enjoy the kills. Especially the piano kill and who it drops on in Bloodlines. That was brilliant. I cheered when that happened. But if you're watching Silent Night, Deadly Night, if the storyline was crap, but we had brilliant effects or shocking effects, fine. I will mention the Terrifier movies, which I'm a massive fan of, even though the first couple storylines are paper thin, because Art as a villain is brilliant. He's creepy. He's just a new horror icon. The special effects, the kills are like, oh my god, you're like, you can't believe what you're watching. I have watched so many movies where the special effects and kills make the movie when the storyline's a bit lacking. I thought that would be the case here, but no. It either cuts away when the person's meeting their end and you see nothing, or you see what you used to see in the 70s, really poor, bad special effects movies with someone with a bunch of sausages in their hands, and that's meant to be intestines, and they don't even fall out and splat on the ground or anything. I mean, really. The kills were awful. The special effects were poor. The storyline was weak. And everybody's coming out saying it's brilliant, and I, for the life of me, can't understand. I'm sorry, but I don't. There you go. Is this why people call me a bit blunt? Well, there we go. The Shining. Don't need to go into any detail. Amazing, fantastic, brilliant. Horror masterclass. Acting masterclass. Shelley Duvall and Jack Nicholson. Although, Danny fucking irritated me though. See this? What was that it? No. I'd forgotten about that, and when I'm watching it, I'm like, oh god. And the amount of times they went, red rum, red rum. I wanted to fast forward the fucking thing, but we were in the cinema, so I couldn't. Was it the 40th anniversary? Yeah, we went to see it in the cinema, so I was forced to watch Red Rum over and over again. One battle after another. Now, I would imagine this will be in a lot of people's top 10s this year, and it was an excellent movie. It was very well acted. When their evil nemesis resurfaces... Some search for battle, others are born into it. When their evil nemesis resurfaces after 16 years, a band of ex-revolutionaries reunite to rescue the daughter of one of their own. It sort of throws you a bit into it with a plot there, doesn't it? So at the beginning, we follow these revolutionaries and what they're protesting against. We sort of get to know them. A couple in this have a daughter, and we go way to the future, and the revolutionaries are trying to protect her from people that have found her and are seeking her out. Very, very good. Really enjoyed it. I do feel that some people will enjoy it more than I did. I thought Sean Penn made this. I thought Sean Penn, he plays a bad guy in this. brilliantly. And he made me laugh so many times in this. Some of the things he did and said just were brilliant. I loved. But I found Leonardo DiCaprio quite dull in this, I have to admit. But that's just, you know, I know this is implicitly well made, it's well acted. That's just my personal viewpoint. Feel free to disagree. So yeah, one battle after another. Some people will love the hell out of that. Amber Alert. This is a TV movie, I think. Two strangers are her only hope. A rideshare turns into a high-stakes game of cat and mouse after it follows a car fitting the description of an Amber Alert. Right. I'm quite obsessed with the idea of Amber Alerts, and I'll tell you why, and this may shock you if you're in America. We don't have this system. When I once was on holiday in Florida, listen to me, like I'm a high-flying. I've been to Florida in my life twice. It took me 4 years to save up enough to go do it, so, you know. But one of the occasions that we were in Florida, all of our phones started making this really weird noise that none of us had ever heard before. It's like, what on earth? Like a siren? If you're in America, you'll know exactly what I mean. I'm like, what the hell's this? And some kid had gone missing. And I'm like, oh my God, why don't they do this in the UK? And that may sound ridiculous to everybody watching in the US, but in the UK, they don't do this when kids go missing. The only way you know a kid is missing if it's on Facebook or if they put it on the news and you happen to be watching it, and they don't tend to do it immediately. You only get it on the news after a period of time has passed where people have gone, well, something's gone wrong here. But an Amber Alert should be something that should be put out everywhere. If an error has been made, who cares? Who has been inconvenienced by that? But you could put out an Amber Alert, and like in this movie, someone could see something or see they could be on the lookout for a registration, a type of vehicle, So this follows a woman that happens to see something. The rideshare guy that she calls over, he's either just finished, he's not working anymore. She manages to convince him into helping her out to follow this car, and basically that's the avenue we go down. I give it a 3 out of 5. I thought it was a decent little movie. It wasn't amazing, but I tend to like that kind of thing. But it is kind of a bit of a TV movie, but I enjoyed it. Man finds tip. Let me remind myself. Oh yes. Can you see it? Pulled in by a series of strange and inexplicable. Inexplicable. Is that not the same? Inexplicable. I would have said inexplicable. Unexplainable. Video clips. A brother and sister team up to investigate the events captured in the footage, only to discover a shocking secret that's overtaking their small town Texas community. I enjoyed this. Some people won't. It is a bit weird. It does go off in one. There are questions unanswered, but it's weird and odd enough to pique my interest. It is found footage. Well, it's not all found footage, but a lot of it is. And stuff's happening in this town that it's like, what under God's happening? People keep like pausing in time and standing really still and like almost shutting down like a robot, and then all of a sudden they'll start moving about again, and they've no memory of this happening. There's only a few people that this doesn't happen to, and that's where the investigation comes in. What the hell's going on? This guy that has been into film and everything all of his life is just one of these, found footage freak type guys that loves to film everything that happens. And he has found something on one of his tapes that's like, what the hell's this? What's going on? And it opens a whole can of worms. It worked for me. It was my cup of tea. I enjoyed it. I know it won't be for everyone, but it worked for me. It does go to weird places. It's like, you will say WTF. I don't know why I'm saying that because I've sworn so much already, but you will say that. Nuremberg. This came in somewhere halfway down my top 10 of the year, 5 or 6 I think. This is clearly about the Nuremberg trials. Rami Malek and Russell Crowe star in this, and they are fantastic. We've got a brilliant cast. Michael Shannon's in this, who's fabulous, who's not playing a bad guy for a change. He's a brilliant bad guy. Judgment is coming. In post-war Germany, an American psychiatrist, Rami Malek, must determine whether Nazi prisoners are fit to go on trial for war crimes, and finds himself in a complex battle of intellect and ethics with Hermann Goering, Hitler's right-hand man. Russell Crowe plays Jesus Christ, Hermann Goering. Absolutely brilliant. If you're interested in this kind of thing, if you're interested in character play, mind games, getting underneath the surface of characters, you'll love this. If you want something that's really fast moving and everything's happening, you maybe not like this so much. I thought this was fantastic. I am obsessed with that whole time period, with the ethics of it, I talked about this in my top 10. For me, the whole situation with the Holocaust and how people did what they did just because someone told them to, or because that was what you did, or the whole thing to me is just like an entire tinderbox. I don't understand. I don't get how we got there. Any question into the ethics of this and any questioning of the people that were responsible for this, I'm there for all day long. I fully support Nuremberg trials. Hermann Goering was a very, very intelligent man that would try to have you believe that he did nothing wrong. This is obviously a completely true story and fantastic as far as I'm concerned. I fully recommend that one to you. I gave that one a 4 out of 5. If I had legs, I'd kick you. This is not about someone that doesn't have legs, just let me tell you, if you take that literally. There has to be Oscar nominations for this film. Now, Rose Byrne in this is incredible. One of my favourite performances of the year. Everything is under control. With her life crashing down around her, Linda attempts to navigate her child's mysterious illness, her absent husband, a missing person, and an increasingly hostile relationship with her therapist. Now, what it doesn't say here is that she is a therapist as well, trying to manage patients with very complex issues. This is about a woman that has reached a breaking point with everything that's going on in her life, and everything's unraveling and everything's falling down around her ears, and this makes you feel so tense and so... Is it a fun watch? Absolutely not. Is it an intense watch? Definitely. It's very, very... If you want to feel in the position of the character that you're watching, if you want to feel tension and irritation and you just feel what she feels in this, and having to try and deal with her kid that's unwell, and some of the decisions she makes, you're like, what the hell is this woman doing? But then you realise the pressure she's under and the mental break that she's the mental break that she's having is, it captures it fantastically well. It lost me on the ending. I feel the ending is one of those that you can interpret multiple ways. I know I had my own interpretation of it. I did do that Google thing. What does the ending mean of this? And my interpretation was one of the, but there were other, interpretations. But the performance of Rose Byrne in this is out of this world. It's incredible. But it's not a fun watch. It's a tense, sort of like visceral watch. So yeah, I do recommend it, but only for people that want to watch an incredible performance from someone, and someone that want to watch a woman just crack, completely break down. It's not like Falling Down, because you can sort of see the funny side of that. This is a mental breakdown entirely, and she makes decisions that are like, you're slapping your own face. You're like, what are you doing? Very, very well acted. Oh my god! Oh, bollocks. Right, this is an issue. I've just recorded my top 10 movies of the year, and this isn't in it. The reason this isn't in it is because, as you can see from my screen, this says 2024. Is this a 2025 movie? Right, and now I'm really aggravated that it's not in my top 10 movies of the video I've done. I'm going to have to put a little note or something in. Okay, Bob Trevino likes this. I had never heard of this movie. This was recommended to me by Sean from Lost in the Reel, who is doing amazingly fantastic after a really shitty year last year, which is brilliant to see. So, Lily Trevino unexpectedly befriends an online stranger who shares her self-centered father's name. This new Bob Trevino's support could transform her life. So, this girl, played by Barbie Ferreira, the performance, I loved her character. I relate so heavily with in a lot of ways. Not all of it. I don't have an arsehole father. This girl's father is a flipping arsehole. doesn't support her, is only there for what he can get out of the relationship. What this girl goes through, she goes to see a therapist, and the therapist cries when she tells her life, and you're watching it going, yeah, it's awful what this poor girl is dealing with. She goes on to Facebook after having an argument with her dad. Her dad basically has no interest in her, doesn't care about her. Her mum, is her mum passed? I think her mum has passed. She has no one. And she goes on and looks up her dad's name on Facebook. There is a person with her father's name, and there's no picture, it's just that little silhouette. And she adds this person, it's not her dad. It is, oh Jesus Lisa, John Leguizamo? I can't fucking say his name. So, it's him, John Leguizamo. Leguizamo. It's him. And he's married, happily married. It's not weird. It's not like relationship type stuff. This is almost like a surrogate father kind of situation. But this guy shows her support. He shows her attention. Again, not in a creepy way. This relationship that forms, she needs this desperately. But I think in a way, so does he. And this is just a beautiful story of the connection of two humans that is beautiful. I'm so annoyed that I have... This is one of my favourite movies that I watched last year. It's listed as a 2024 movie. I don't know. But sometimes when you watch a film with people, you don't want to be crying. But I'm not a crier, but films are where, you get me. This film, I physically hurt myself trying not to break down watching this with my husband. He's sat and I'm sat and I'm thinking, no, I can't. Because I was close to actually audibly sobbing. I was struggling. I'm like, I can't breathe in because I'm going to if I breathe in. And I hurt myself. I hurt my chest trying not to cry at this film. It touched me so deeply, I can't even tell you. I related to so much of her in this film. So many things about her. And where this movie went, I was not ready for, just let's say. Beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. If you have a heart, watch this film. Bob Trevino likes it. Lisa loved it. But fucking hurt herself crying at it. Jay Kelly. I did not expect to like this. This stars George Clooney and Adam Sandler, Laura Dern. Everybody knows Jay Kelly, but Jay Kelly doesn't know himself. Famous movie actor Jay Kelly, played by George Clooney, embarks on a journey of self-discovery, confronting both his past and present, accompanied by his devoted manager, Ron, played by Adam Sandler. I thought this would be pretentious actor twaddle. It isn't. It's actually a really nice movie. There is a lot about it that you could maybe pass off as being a bit flippant, but I really appreciated the depth of this movie. It was a lot deeper than I thought it was going to be. I didn't think I would enjoy it. I think Adam Sandler was fantastic. I think he's a brilliant actor. I don't care what anyone says. Yeah, he's a comedy actor and his more modern comedies aren't as funny. But I think he is a fantastic straight actor. I don't think he gets the respect that he warrants in that sense. I think this is a really, really good, interesting film and I would recommend. It is what it said. It's basically just about him as a person, getting to know himself as the person, not just the actor. I think as, these famous people, they become a persona and they almost can kind of lose track of themselves along the way, and he has done, but it's about him getting back to himself. On the 18th, Sisu, Road to Revenge. Now, if you've seen Sisu, the first one, you will know it's a bit OTT. In this movie, he does not utter one word. This is brilliant. It's over the top. It's unbelievable. The stunts that are happening and the holes that he gets out of. He's like referred to as the man who cannot die or the man who cannot be killed. They're trying to take him out in this film. He's taking revenge because he loses his family. Returning to the house where his family was brutally murdered during the war, the man who refuses to die dismantles it, loads it onto a truck, and is determined to rebuild it somewhere safe in their honour. When the commander who killed his family comes back, hell-bent on finishing the job, a relentless, eye-popping, cross-country chase ensues. And that's exactly what it says on the tin. That's what happens. If you want realism, don't watch it. Some of the stuff that happens in this, you're watching it and you're going, oh, fuck off, come on now. but you're loving it because it's so over the top, it's so ridiculous. You just can't help but enjoy it. If you watched RRR a few years ago, which was my #1 movie of the year, there's a scene in the forest in that movie with a tiger, which is like, oh come on now, but oh my god, cinematic brilliance, loved it. It's over the top, ridiculous, but it's fun. It's my kind of action movie. I love this. So yeah, Sisu 2, Road to Revenge. Kombucha. I liked 3/4 of this movie and then it fell to an arse. Trapped in a fluorescent lit cubicle farm, an aspiring musician thinks the break-free room kombucha is a perk until it begins to change him. What starts with suspicious smiles and team building ends in a bile-drenched metamorphosis. I enjoyed 3/4 of this and then the ending lost me. This musician is hard, down on his luck. He takes a job in an office, basically to make money, and they all drink this stuff called kombucha, and they keep trying to get him to drink it. He doesn't want to drink it. One thing leads to another. He drinks it. He gets addicted to it. It's actually doing something to him that he's not aware. It all builds to a climax of what is happening, which is just eye-rolling. But I did enjoy the journey to get to where we get to, but when the reveal happens as to what's going on, it's like, oh Jesus, no, that's just stupid. But you may enjoy the ending. I didn't. So, Kombucha, 2 out of 5. The ending was just ridiculous. What have I done now? Twinless. This is another movie brought to my attention by Sean from Lost in the Reel. I can't say too much about this. So, 2 young men meet in a twin support group and form an unlikely friendship. Roman and Dennis both search for solace and an identity without their other halves, and soon become inseparable outside the group. So obviously they're both there because they've both lost a twin. One of the guys is straight, one of the guys is gay. The guy that's straight's twin that he lost was gay. So it's almost, we're not going to say that they're replacing their twin, but that's the kind of notion that you get. But there's more to the story than meets the eye. Won't tell you what it is, but acting performances in this are fantastic. Dylan O'Brien, I think, is the one that's responsible. I think he maybe writes and directs this as well. James Sweeney is fantastic in this. It's something that it's fresh, it's different, it's something that I've never seen before. I think the concept is brilliant. You don't find yourself really liking one of the lead guys in this. You find yourself like, oh my god, I can't believe you've done this. It does have a couple of pretty explicit sex scenes between 2 men, so if you do feel uncomfortable, I mean, why you would a lot of people don't want to see sex scenes of any description, but just be aware there is a couple of explicit sex scenes in here. I'm like, have a big TV in the living room and a couple of windows that everybody walking past can see, so don't have this playing on your TV if people walking past can look in the window, you know what I mean? So you're just going to look like a pervert. So, Twinless, I did really enjoy it. I gave it a 3.5 out of 5. Dead of Winter, oh dear god. I should have listened to everyone that was saying this. What the hell? I watched this purely because Emma Thompson's in it and I love Emma Thompson. Wrong place, wrong crime. A widowed fisherwoman travelling alone through snowbound northern Minnesota interrupts the kidnapping of a teenage girl. Hours from the nearest town and with no phone service, she realises she is the young girl's only hope. Reads fantastically. Judy Greer's in it as well. Bits of it are okay, but again, it's completely unbelievable what happens. It's very boring, it's very dull. I've written, what the actual fuck was this? How many people will tune in purely for the wonderful Emma Thompson only to be met with this? Jesus. I stand by that. It's very, very boring. Oh god, it's too long. The video's too long. Look how many we've still got to go. Right, The Great Flood. This is on Netflix at the moment. Is it Korean? I think it is. The last day on Earth, the only choice for survival. When a raging flood traps a researcher and her young son, a call to a crucial mission puts their escape and the future of humanity on the line. This is interesting. This isn't what it first appears to be. It's not just a disaster movie. There's more going on, but it's very, very confusing. I had to read so much stuff after I watched this to try and work out what the hell was going on. But all is not as it appears to be. If you're very intelligent and can usually work out exactly what's happening in weird films, give it a go. I gave it a 2 out of 5 because it got too bloody confusing for me. I got a concept, I got what was happening, but then they changed the concept and went even weirder again with it, and I'm like, oh Jesus, I give up. I just want to be entertained. I don't want to be tested, you know what I mean? Christy. This is one I've been looking forward to seeing for ages. This is a true story. I had watched a documentary about this lady, Christy Martin. So she's played by Sydney Sweeney. She was a boxer in the 80s. I think it's in the 80s. Christy Martin never imagined life beyond her small town roots in West Virginia until she discovered a knack for punching people. Fueled by grit, raw determination, and an unshakable desire to win, she charges into the world of boxing under the guidance of her trainer and manager turned husband, Jim. But while Christy flaunts a fiery persona in the ring, her toughest battles unfold outside of it, confronting family, identity, and a relationship that might soon become life or death. So this is a true story that you may know. She does get with her manager, a much, much older, creepy, horrible man, who initially doesn't take her seriously at all. So she's got that to contend with, first of all. She's a female boxer. A lot of people don't think there should be female boxers. She is fantastic at what she does. She knocks people, most of the people she fights with, out. She's very naive. She's very easily led. She's very much influenced by her family and their thoughts. She isn't the person she wants to be. And it starts taking her down a very dangerous road, and her husband is willing to go to great lengths to keep control over her. Very interesting film, all true. Definitely recommend that you check it out. Sydney Sweeney's fabulous in it. She put on 2 stone to play this movie, and what's really interesting, at 2 stone, £28. She basically worked out and did all different, hours every day. She was doing I think martial arts or kickboxing. She did all this exercise, and she put weight on. So, to try and be healthy, she's actually heavier than she is normally. She said her ass was massive. She went up 2 jeans sizes. Merv, right, I thought I would love this because there's a dog in it, and it's festive, and I love Christmas and I love dogs. Basically, long story short, this is about a couple who have split up. They had a dog together. The dog's depressed because its owners aren't together anymore. They live in different houses. They try and see the dog, have visitation of the dog. That's not working. And it's basically about this dog and their relationship. And the guy takes the dog on holiday to try to break him out of this depression. She ends up in the same place. The dog's really happy that they're all there together. It's about them trying new relationships, all that sort of thing. We know where it's going. It's so predictable. But Merv, dog's cute. We like that. But other than, it's just, it's just your typical romance. The Creeps. Right, oh Jesus, yes. When this started, I thought I was going to love this. So, The Creeps are coming to destroy your holiday season. This is a comedy horror. And the creeps are little tiny snowmen, creatures that kill you. It's ridiculous. It's over the top. It's silly. But I thought I was going to love this. When a mysterious gateway between dimensions unleashes a horde of nasty little creatures into Vokasi ski resort, Zach and his friends' dream holiday takes a turn for the terrifying. What was supposed to be an epic party filled with sex, drugs, rock and roll, and Hollywood legend Christopher Lambert, who is in this, not very much though, spirals into pure chaos as the creeps run wild. Now Zach must rise to the occasion, battle the pint-sized terrors, and prove that being a hero isn't so different from the 80s movies he worships. There's loads of old references to the 80s in this. It is fun. It is silly. I think teenage boys will love this. There was just too much woman and boobs. Right, you're all lining up to watch it now. It was these really plain nerdy guys, and there's these women everywhere throwing themselves at them, and stereotypically ridiculous women, not good actresses, just being dolly birds. and like, oh, look at me with my arse out, and it's like, oh Jesus, this was fun. I was enjoying this. I was enjoying these nerds and this ridiculousness and this over the topness, and now you've just put two women that look like they've stepped off Playboy giving some dude a blowjob, and it's like, it's, oh, just no. It got ruined for me. It just got so ridiculous. So 2 out of 5 because I enjoyed it to a degree. I hope nobody watches this around people that they don't want me to be saying unsuitable things around. Your host. Right. This tries to be like a Saw type movie, maybe crossed with like a... Who's that walking about? I don't know. 4 friends get trapped in a sadistic game show, forced to outwit a twisted serial killer whilst racing against time. Every move brings them closer to freedom or a gruesome fate. So it's like a kind of Saw type thing. The effects are really good. The kills are really interesting. Watch it for that. If you're watching it for fantastic storyline or brilliant acting, you're not going to get either of those things here. But it's inventive and it's interesting, the kills, and the effects for the kills were very good, were very believable. So it's just your typical horror, what do they call it, torture porn type thing. Die My Love. This is going to be up for Oscars. No. Jennifer Lawrence. I've written, nope, the audience for this kind of movie must be minuscule. In a movie where you must be swept away with the characters and feel something, guess what? I felt nothing other than ever-increasing irritation. Jennifer Lawrence clearly has the acting chops and probably the best boobs in Hollywood, I'll stand by that. But that just wasn't enough for me. So, this is about a woman who's recently had a baby, a writer and young mother slowly slipping into madness, locked away in an old house in Montana. Her increasingly agitated and erratic behaviour leaves her companion, Jackson, worried and helpless. So Robert Pattinson plays Jackson. It's basically about her wanting to have sex all the time and him being pissed off that he's going out and working and coming home and she hasn't cleaned up after. The house is basically a disaster zone. She's not looking after the baby properly. She clearly has postnatal depression. The relationship's going down the toilet. It's about that. It's about her descent into this kind of starting as a frustration and a loss of herself. She's lost touch with the person she is and she just starts acting weird and she's jumping on him at every... It's just like, this woman's just had a baby and all she wants to do is have sex. It's like, most women are the complete opposite. But I didn't watch all of this. I tried really hard and I couldn't. It was awful, and I'm like, oh, Sissy Spacek's in this as well. It was just awful. I just couldn't. I'm like, what are you doing, love? Honestly, the sort of things you would expect her to be doing. She's obviously trying desperately to regain a sense of herself and her sexuality and who she is and the attractive woman and not just the mother. And I get all of that, but love, pick up a fucking brush. You know, I mean, I don't know. I just struggled with it. Maybe it will speak more to women that have experienced this, and I was lucky enough to not experience this, but I've never heard of a woman in postpartum depression being an nymphomaniac. I've never actually heard of that before. Maybe it's a thing, but it wasn't relatable to me at all. Springsteen, Deliver Me From Evil. I desperately wanted to see this because I love the actor and I just thought it would be really interesting. So I've written, a knowledgeable Springsteen fan will no doubt get more from this movie than I did with regards to the work on the Nebraska album. It made me wish I knew more of his back catalogue. Jeremy Allen White is fabulous as Bruce Springsteen, completely transforming himself when he performs. While I thought it was a very competently made movie with great performances, it just didn't grab me in the way that my favourite music biopics have. Just to give you an idea, Walk the Line's my favourite. But hell, it meant I could gaze upon the beautiful Jeremy Allen White for almost 2 hours. Oh, he's lovely, isn't he? When he performs as Springsteen, you're looking at he's got him so good. He doesn't look especially like him. He's got curly hair, but in the scenes where you see him perform, it's like, oh my god, there he is. It's really well made. This is solely around the Nebraska album that he makes in the studio, and not really in the studio, but I won't tell you anymore. But I think had I known more about Springsteen, I would get a lot more from it. So if I was watching, like when I watched Bohemian Rhapsody, when they're in the studio making A Night at the Opera, the album, I got so much from that because it's my favourite band. I know a lot of the history. And I feel if you knew the history of the songs and how they were written, this would be so interesting to hear certain songs that were originally written differently to how they ended up, and tempos were changed, and it was really interesting in that respect. And I feel that Jeremy Allen White was fabulous in it. It just didn't, even though I enjoyed it, I felt a little bit bored at times. And I think that may be down to me not knowing enough about Springsteen in this particular album. But I can't fault it being an incredibly well-made movie and him being really good in it. 3 out of 5. Poseidon Adventure, I don't need to open that up. This was at my dad's. I love the Poseidon Adventure. It's the original one. It's actually, was there one before 1972? There may have been. I love the 1972 one. It takes me back to being a child. It being on the telly every Christmas. That and Towering Inferno. It's cheesy as hell. Lots of it's so dated, but I really enjoy it. I always do. It's a 4.5 out of 5 for me. The Thing with Feathers. Right, this is Benedict Cumberbatch. I've written not really my cup of tea. Fantastically acted and very symbolic, but a bit too allegorical for me. I will stand by that. I struggle with movies that are meant to be allegories for something else. After a tragic loss, a grieving father tries to raise his young sons while dealing with an unlikely, unpredictable and uninvited house guest. This is all very much stuff that isn't happening. It's maybe happening, it's sort of trying to nod towards his insanity and his mental state. And we're seeing stuff that's not really happening. It's all very symbolic of what's happening to him mentally. I know a lot of people will love this. The voice of, and I'm not sure who voices, but we'll just let's say it's a crow. The bird in this is brilliant. I love the voice of it. But I give it a 2.5. It just isn't my type of film. But I know that if this is the type of thing you enjoy, Benedict Cumberbatch is fantastic here. It's really interestingly shot. The film looks really interesting, but it's just not the kind of thing I tend to enjoy. Yeah. 24th, I went to a posh cinema in Belfast to see... I got vouchers last Christmas, as in 2024, for this like Art Deco posh cinema where they bring you your food to your table and stuff. And we went to see as a family Gremlins on Christmas Eve, which was fabulous. Gremlins, for Christ's sake. Of course it's fabulous. So really enjoyed that, really loved that. On the same evening, this is one that I think is on Netflix at the moment. It's called Goodbye June. This made my top 10 of the year. The cast in this is stacked, really strong British cast here. You've got Helen Mirren, Toni Collette. I can never remember that woman's fucking name, and hang on, is she Australian? Johnny Flynn, Andrea Riseborough, she's brilliant, I love her. Timothy Spall, fantastic. Kate Winslet, so Stephen Merchant, Fazio Akinade. This has got a brilliant cast. It's a sad film. It is about a woman played by Helen Mirren who is reaching the end of her life. She's suffering from cancer. She's taken into hospital. Timothy Spall is her husband, who is really struggling to cope with what's happening. This really spoke to me. Obviously, I lost my mum late last year. I felt Timothy Spall's coping. It really mirrored my own father's with my mum passing. The 3 daughters that they have together are 3 very different individuals who all have moved, they've got kids, they've got their own lives, they're very different lives. There's sort of fractured relationships there. Some really don't get on with others. And this is about this woman, her last days, the family rallying round, and the relationships between them, the interactions between them and their mother, them and their siblings, the father. Really heartfelt, true to life. Acting performances are fantastic. Really personal story that really spoke to me. I think obviously because I've been in the situation very recently of losing my mum, it hit home with me. I thought it was a fabulous film, so that's a 4 out of 5 for Goodbye June. Sentimental value. Okay, so this is one of the big Oscar contenders, guys. This has got Stellan Skarsgård in it, father of the other incredible Skarsgård brothers. Sisters Nora and Agnes reunite with their estranged father, the charismatic Gustav, a once renowned director who offers stage actress Nora a role in what he hopes will be his comeback film. When Nora turns it down, she soon discovers he has given her part to an eager young Hollywood star, played by Ellie Fanning. This is implicitly well acted. This is an incredible character study of relationships, of past trauma, of issues between father and daughters, of there's so many different relationships going on in this movie. This is not going to be a lot of people's cup of tea. They were going to be, nothing's happening, it's shit, it's this, it's that. Is it highly entertaining to sit down and watch on a Saturday evening with a popcorn? No. Is it an incredibly well-made movie with fantastically crafted performances and a lot to say about dysfunctional families and relationships? Yes. I give it a 3.5. I thought it was a brilliant movie, but I know this is not going to be popular with everyone. It's not English either. Is it Swedish? Is it Norwegian? I don't know. Honest to God, I should check these things. A very good movie that will have a very specific audience, and I'm sure you will know yourself if you're that audience by, the synopsis, by what I've said. But it will be an Oscar contender. Mark my words. Okay, we're almost there, folks. There we go. Marty Supreme. This is another Oscar baby. This is the movie that showed me that Timothée Chalamet can really act. So this made my top 10 of the year, folks. We've only just got this in the UK. I had to refilm my top 10 because 2 films, Nuremberg and this one, both made my top 10, and I didn't see either of them till really, really late, so I had to refilm my top 10 today for that reason. As I'm talking about what I've watched and I come across Bob Trevino likes it, I'm like, fuck, this should be in it. But is it 2024? Is it 2025? I'm not sure. It says online it's 2024. So, Dream Big. In 1950s New York, Marty Mauser, a young man with a dream no one respects, goes to hell and back in pursuit of greatness. This movie is a slice of time. It's a slice of the 50s. Timothée Chalamet is fabulous. He plays a ping pong champion. He's very arrogant. He is not very likeable. You start this movie out thinking you are a bit of a tit, really, aren't you? But I still find myself rooting for him, it has to be said. Gwyneth Paltrow's in this. Odessa? Yes, I can't say that. This has got fabulous performances across the board. Timothée Chalamet is fabulous. He's such a good actor. I had no idea how good he actually is until I watched this. It is a slice of life from 1950s New York. You do follow him in his quest to be a champion at this sport, but there's so much more going on in the background. He has a pregnant girlfriend who's actually married to someone else. We follow relationships, we start off in his job in his shoe shop. We follow relationships with different people. He tends to only be with people for what he can get from them. He's not the nicest of people, so you find it very hard to get behind him. But Timothée Chalamet managed it with me. I was rooting for him. And not because he particularly does things to redeem himself. Well, there's a dog in it that he really loves, this dog, so that was good. But I just got, the dog's having a drink, if you can hear a weird noise. I just got on board with him. I thought Timothée Chalamet was brilliant in this. And I haven't seen Dune 2. I watched half of Dune 1 and it almost sent me to sleep. I don't like sci-fi, and it's not a diss at the movie. I'm aware the movies are brilliant. It's just not for me. So if people are saying, well, did you not see No. So this was my eye-opener to Timothée Chalamet, and I was proper shocked at how good he is in this. Hondo. This was because I was at my dad's. No, I haven't lost the plot. I flipping hate John Wayne. I can't bear the man. I'm sorry. Yes, I gave it a 3 out of 5. The film is okay. I'm not saying he can't act. He's good at what he does, which is basically play the same character in every movie he's ever in. He played a fireman once, which was a bit different. My dad has always got the Legend channel on, and this man is in it every flipping time I go in the house. I quite like this film. I thought it was good. Geraldine Page, who stars in this with him, apparently when he found out she was starring alongside him and he had to kiss her, he insisted on paying for her to get dental treatment because he didn't like what her teeth looked like. He's a known racist. The guy's just not a very nice person, but this was okay. I just struggle with John Wayne because every time you see him, he's playing exactly the same person with exactly the same voice. Yes, he's only got one voice, but that drawl, it's always the same. I'm just not a fan. But if you like westerns, Hondo's pretty decent. Thanks, Dad. Berlin. What is this? Oh yes, this is a nativity scene. Is that what the fuck? I have no idea what that means. So this is a film about a woman that gets pregnant. She doesn't know she's pregnant. She goes to an emergency room. Where is this set? Argentina. She goes to an emergency room and she miscarries, and she didn't know she was pregnant. She actually gets put in prison. This is a true story, because people think that she has murdered her unborn child and left a fetus in the toilet. In the conservative northwestern region of Argentina, Julieta finds herself accused of infanticide after a medical emergency. Facing a miscarriage of justice that lands her in prison for a crime she did not commit, her only hope is getting a chance to challenge her conviction in a courtroom battle with the help of Soledad, a fearless lawyer who risks everything trying to defend her. Their fight for justice will slowly begin to fuel a growing movement for solidarity. So this starts off with this horrible thing happening, but it ends very much in a lot of, there's a lot of women out marching and protesting for her release, and, you get people, the whole abortion thing comes into it, which isn't, I feel, what this movie should be about, but this is a true story, and basically they try her for the murder of her child, even though she didn't know she was pregnant and she's having a miscarriage. It's interesting, it's deep, it really happened, but it lost me a little bit. I was really interested in the court side of things, and does she get off, does she not, what's going to happen, but it almost seemed to be hijacked by this people like protesting with placards and marching, and this I would have liked a bit more about her state of mind in the prison, her experience in the prison, what she's going through, what's happening, her interaction with the other prisoners, rather than this movement that happened. I think it's more to do with the movement than it is to do with this woman's experience. But it's a good movie. K-pop Demon Hunters. I watched this for one reason. I'm trying to watch things with vocal performances in it. So performances that actors are giving to animations, or things where they are not pictured in it. I won't tell you the reason for that, but that's what I'm trying to do right now. So that's why I watched K-pop Demon Hunters. It was fun. It's not my kind of thing. I liked it. Am I going to watch loads of these? No. It's not my cup of tea. I enjoyed it while I watched it. The music was really catchy in it, sort of K-pop, that kind of thing. But yeah, it was okay. People are losing their shit. Well, it was okay, it was amazing. If you like that kind of thing. And for the same reason, In Your Dreams, animation. Much more my cup of tea. So this follows a little boy and girl and their parents who are going through difficulty, who are going to split up. They don't want, in their innocence and childhood, they don't want their mum and dad to split up. What can we do to keep them together? Stevie and her little brother Elliot journey into the wildly absurd landscape of their own dreams to ask the Sandman to grant them the perfect family. So they find that they're living in their dreams, and if they're trying to change things in their dreams in order to make that change reality. Very sweet film. I think if you enjoy things like Coco, I think you'll enjoy this. It's a very sweet, family focused, centric, just lovely movie. K-pop Demon Hunters is going to be much more witty, edgy, appealing to an older audience, more modern, with the kids, that kind of thing. This is just a sweet little animation, beautifully animated, so well acted by the kids that do the voices in this. So yeah, I enjoyed. In Your Dreams gets a 3.5 out of 5. Two more, guys. Eternity. Okay. This actually covers a question that has always intrigued me. If you believe in a heaven, if you don't, I'm one of those people you would refer to as agnostic, where I'm not really sure what I believe. But so this woman, played by Elizabeth Olsen, she is married. Her husband passes in the war when he's very young. They haven't been married for very long. And she obviously goes on to meet someone else, and they get married and they have a whole life together and they have children. And eventually the second husband passes. So both husbands have passed and they are both on the other side. In an afterlife where souls have 1 week to decide where to spend eternity, so it shows all these different, like there's a world without men, a world on a beach, a world in the mountains. But once you've made your decision, you're stuck there. You can't ever come out of it. You're there for life. Joan is faced with the impossible choice between the man she spent her life with and her first love, who died young and has waited decades for her to arrive. So there's like an in-between place. And this guy has got a job in the in-between place. And he has waited, I don't remember if it's 57 or 67 years for his wife to die so that he can wait for her. And obviously her husband has just died. He's there, he's waiting, and she dies. So she comes to the afterlife, and the question is, who do you spend eternity with? Your first husband, who you were with for a short period of time and has waited for you for decades? Or your second husband, who you lived your entire life with, had children, who has died shortly before you? And it's something I'm like, if there's a heaven and you've been married twice and your first partner dies, but they were the love of your life, you very much loved them, but you remarry, people always say your loved ones are waiting for you. Who? Where do you go? You know what I mean? And there's a line in the Crash Test Dummies song, which is a bit silly. I love Crash Test Dummies. I think the lyrics are fabulous. And one of the lines are, if your eye gets plucked out in this life, will it be up in heaven waiting with your wife? So if you lose an eye or an arm or a leg, when you go to heaven, are you whole? Is it there? I think these kind of things. Another question the Crash Test Dummies ask you is, how does a duck know what direction south is? And how to tell his wife from all the other ducks? These kind of things puzzle me. But yeah, Eternity is a film about a question that I have asked myself. It doesn't land. It's all right. The premise of this it's intriguing and fascinating to me, and it is something I've wondered. I just wanted more to be done with this. I feel they had the scope to make this brilliant, and they lost it somewhere along the way. And finally, Warfare. This is done in real time. Let me just read the... Everything is based on memory. A platoon of American Navy SEALs on a surveillance mission gone wrong in insurgent territory, a boots-on-the-ground story of modern warfare and brotherhood told in real time and based on the memory of the people who lived it. So that's what I was going to tell you. This is in real time. Having read all the trivia on this, everything in this movie had to be remembered by one person and reiterated by two more. So they wouldn't use a memory that one person had but someone else didn't remember, so that they could be sure that everything that was in here happened how it was told that it happened. This is scary. This is, as I say, it's one mission and these guys are stuck in this building and they need to get out. There's a couple of people badly wounded. They need to get them evacuated. Someone needs to come in to get them. When they're trying to get them out, shit happens again. The injuries in this are bloody hell. The effects in this, makeup's the wrong word, is out of this world. Everything looks so incredibly real. It's very disturbing. I struggle with war so much as a concept. I always have done. I'm trying not to get political about it, but all these young men being put into situations by these old farts that are sitting behind desks making decisions about other countries and these young men's lives, and you're watching just young men being blown to bits, and it's so upsetting. And then aside of that, the stuff that soldiers from all over the world do in other countries to the women and kids and the atrocities that I just struggle with war massively. I went through a phase of watching every war movie I could get my hands on, so I've seen loads. That's gone back quite a few years when I was younger. This one, I was fascinated by the concept that it was all real time and that everything that I was going to see on that screen happened and was real. This is sobering stuff, guys. This just shows you the reality of war. Obviously the intro to Saving Private Ryan is one of the most upsetting things I've ever seen in my life. This I'm not going to say this is as over the top's the wrong word. You have to be so careful what you say, because Saving Private Ryan wasn't over the top, that happened. But it's very action driven at the start, and it's very shocking, and it's filmed that way for a reason. But in this, you feel like you're one of the guys, you're in there with them, you feel entirely immersed. You get to know them when things are quiet, when they're starting this mission. It's all surveillance, nothing much is happening. It grants you that relationship, that camaraderie almost. And I feel that it puts you right in there as one of the guys in this situation, and you're part of that platoon, and you need to help your mate. And when you see how your comrades can end up, it's fucking upsetting. I gave this a 3.5 out of 5. I think it is excellent. This sounds all kinds of wrong. I wanted to see more. I would have watched 2.5 hours of this. I think it was an hour and a half. And it was just meant to be one, you know, what's the word I'm looking for? Mission. So it is what it says it is. That's just, I was so immersed, and I was so carried along in this. I thought it was so well done, so well acted. Very, very impactful. Thoroughly recommend it. I just could have watched another one of these, like another mission, and that wasn't the intention. I shouldn't, you know, but it was excellent. It was, I should give that a 4 out of 5 really. But yeah, I thoroughly recommend this. Do not watch this if you are squeamish. I'm not saying there's a load of horrible things in it. There isn't. We don't see loads of injuries in it, but the injuries that we do see in it are pretty, you know, they're pretty full-on injuries, just to warn you. And they're very, very realistic. It's disturbing stuff. So yeah, that is Warfare that I gave. I'm actually changing that. That's going up to a 4 now that I'm talking about it. I do that sometimes. I talk about something and then I'm like, you see, it's just when I watched it, I came away thinking, oh, I want it more. And that's when I rate it. And really, it shouldn't be when I rate it. I should start giving it a day and then rating things. I think it would be a more honest representation. So that's what I watched. Jesus, wept. It's over an hour. Oh my God, I apologise. Anybody that watches this, I'm shocked and stunned if you have, because that's ridiculous. Well, what can I do? An hour and 7 minutes, I've waffled shit. That's what happens when Lisa watches a lot of movies in 1 month. If you've watched this is Sammy G level. This is, if you've watched this, thank you. If you've skirted through this and listened to wee bits just to write a comment, thank you all the same. I shall be back. I'm going to try, I'll probably still stick to the monthly watches. I'm not going to watch that many movies every month, I think, because it was the holidays and we were at home. That's why there's so many. But yeah, this is too long. I acknowledge this is too long. But yeah, thank you for watching, guys. I shall be back soon with something or other, not this flipping length. Over and out from Lisa Lives.